The bond with the grandsons, a masterclass. All right, let's dive right into this explainer. And just picture a peaceful dawn over the Prophet's mosque in early Medina. Walking in that serene light are two young boys, Hasan and Husayn. Today, we aren't just looking at some distant historical footnote. We're actually decoding a masterclass in character, one that is entirely rooted in a grandfather's immense, literally world-shifting bond with his grandsons.
What does true spiritual leadership and perfect character look like? So take a second here and really reflect on this question. I mean, we so often associate leadership with stern authority, right? But the history of al-Bayt, the family of the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, absolutely flips that script. It proves that true greatness is actually born out of profound, nurturing love.
The beloved grandsons of Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him. Before we even look at their community leadership, we were introduced to Hasan and Husayn simply as cherished grandsons. Their extraordinary legacy didn't just appear in a vacuum. It was incubated in this environment of incredibly deep, fierce familial affection.
And this bond was highly intentional. We're talking about deep personal love, carrying them in his arms and teaching the Ummah mercy and compassion. The Prophet's affection wasn't just private love kept behind closed doors. By visibly carrying them in his arms in public, he was executing a deliberate step-by-step methodology. He was showing the entire community what mercy actually looks like in practice. He was literally modeling love.
Teaching the Ummah mercy and compassion. That phrase carries so much weight. By publicly embracing his grandsons, he set a standard for all of us. And honestly, it forces us to ask ourselves, how often do we use our own relationships, not just to feel love, but to actively demonstrate compassion to the people watching us?
Shining examples for every believer. And here is the incredible return on that investment. The seeds of mercy planted by their grandfather's deliberate affection didn't just become, fond childhood memories. That bond completely transformed into extraordinary personal character, which turned Hasan and Husayn into living, breathing blueprints for every single believer. They were known from a young age for kindness, generosity, beautiful manners, respecting elders, and helping poor families with food. Think about that for a second. These were young men carrying the massive spiritual weight of their lineage, yet they were the ones actively carrying food to poor families. They were the ones lowering their gaze and showing deep, genuine respect to their elders.
Beautiful manners, demonstrated practically by greeting elders with profound respect and providing food to families in poverty. This brilliantly redefines what beautiful manners even means. Their noble character wasn't theoretical. It wasn't just about polite speech. It was active, daily generosity applied directly to those who needed it most. It's character in motion.
Devotion to worship and truth. But you see, their character was perfectly balanced, because all of that outward community charity and generosity was fueled by an intense inward devotion to the Creator.
The pillars of their devotion were worship, truth, obedience to Allah, and humility in the mosque. Despite their unmatched status and the immense love they received from the Prophet, there was absolutely zero arrogance. The two brothers prayed side by side in the mosque, and that absolute humility was the unshakable anchor for all the magnificent work they did outside of it.
The youth of paradise. This perfect balance of outward charity and inward humility brings us to the real climax of their legacy. Their lifelong dedication, rooted entirely in that early bond with their grandfather, elevated them to a spiritual status that is, frankly, almost impossible to fully comprehend.
Hasan and Husayn are the leaders of the youth of paradise. Let the magnitude of that divine confirmation from the Prophet truly sink in. It perfectly encapsulates how a foundation of profound familial love, when combined with active service and humble worship, creates a literal, eternal legacy.
Love al-Bayt, follow their character. The core instruction for us here is twofold. We need to harbor a deep, genuine love for al-Bayt, and crucially, we have to follow their character. We pray that Allah is pleased with Hasan and Husayn and that we find the guidance to mirror their balanced, noble example in our own daily lives.
How will you follow their noble character today? I really want to leave you with this to carry into your day. Will you show mercy to a child? Will you help someone in need? Or maybe find a deeper humility in your worship? The blueprint has been completely laid out for us. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer. If you found this breakdown insightful, drop a like, share it, and be sure to follow for more deep dives into authentic Islamic history.